much for joining us here on the shores of the Saskatchewan River, Treaty 6 territory, homeland of the Métis. People have been gathering here in community for millennia. And I'd like to think that when people gather, there is often music. And that's exactly what we're doing today. Gathering in community, looking for connection through music. The concert hall for me has always been a refuge, a place that I go to and I can close my eyes, I can disconnect from myself, from worldly events, I can dream, imagine, and feel. The concert hall has always been a very sacred place for me. Perhaps then you can imagine my devastation when I realized that the music that I had heard in that concert hall over the course of my schooling and my professional life, what I had played, all of that music was written by a very certain kind of person. And I connected to that music. I loved that music. I love the music of Bach and Brahms and Mozart and Beethoven. I do, I love that music. But when I realized that it was a very specific voice, I felt a little robbed. There are other voices to hear. And the people that have been left out of the concert hall, the people that have been left out of the classical music canon, were left out not because the music wasn't beautiful, but because of who they were and the stature they had in our culture. And I think that is a huge disservice, not only to music, but also to audiences, that having the opportunity to be present with many different kinds of voices is a much richer experience, and is one that I want to have. Which is why I've chosen the music this evening. I hope that you find the music that we are going to be present with. I hope that you find that music as beautiful as I do. I hope it helps you maybe start to question why this music is not usually or is rarely heard. Now, the thing with playing music from the Western classical music tradition is that we have an understanding of the humans that made that music, whether it be through books or in our culture. In our cultural lexicon, we have these stories. For example, Bach had 22 children. I mean, what a life. Beethoven was deaf. Mozart likely had ADHD. Like, there's all these things that we can, as humans, we can kind of connect to their music because we know these stories. And when I go to a concert, I think about the composer, and maybe I have a context for understanding a little bit about what their music is trying to convey, and that helps me have a connection. It makes it a very rich experience. And so in presenting this music tonight, music that is rarely heard, I wanted to give those who are taking the time to listen, I wanted to give you a context. I wanted to give you a jumping off point. I wanted to give you the opportunity to connect to this music in the way that we, the musicians, have. And so for that reason, I invited the incredible Alice Kuipers to write some reflections, to set a scene, to set the stage for this music that I'm about to perform with my amazing collaborators. So that not only do we have the opportunity as musicians to connect and to this music, but you can hear and see what we are thinking as we are presenting this music as well. My hope is that you feel a connection to the music, connection through time, through space, which I think is one of the most magical things that music can give us. I would like to thank all of my collaborators, and all of the people that have brought this experience together. There are literally many hands making this all happen. I would like to thank Sask Arts for supporting this evening, and